Welcome back to another episode of Popcorn Fodder. Pew, 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 pew. This week we will be reviewing... What is it? Quiz Lady. Oh my gosh. Almost forgot. Yes. We're reviewing Quiz Lady with Aquafina and the amazing Asian lady from Grey's Anatomy and the other show. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about. Anyway, the show recommendation for this week is an oldie but a goodie. Sherlock. I really fucks with Sherlock. There are many renditions of Sherlock Holmes. Obviously, we have the one played by the guy who plays Iron Man. We also have another one where the Asian lady from Charlie's Angels plays the sidekick character who's a doctor who walks up with a cane. That character, I don't know why I'm forgetting people's names right now, but yes. And I think that show is called Elementary. It's a pretty good show, kind of like it. But you can't go wrong with Benedict Cumberbatch. You just can't, okay? And then the sidekick character, the actor who plays that guy as well, he's fantastic. He's a fantastic actor as well. And he plays the role beautifully, you know? Although I do kind of like the Iron Man movie guy. Oh, Jude Law. I think his name is Jude Law. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. I think his name is Jude Law. If it isn't, tough cookies. His name is Jude Law now. I do like the Jude Law version of that character. Just in terms of like the temperament that he chose to give that character. But I think in terms of like just the quality of acting, the Sherlock guy, he did a great job. And Benedict Cumberbatch, I think, really does a great job at sort of showing this like person who's teetering on the edge of being unhinged and also poised. And I think it's beautiful. And oh my gosh, the guy who plays Moriarty, I think he does a fantastic job of being unassuming, but also, sort of bubbling with malice and danger, and being able to toggle between the two, right? Especially when he presents himself, to other people and is basically undercover. He seems like, just your average Joe. There's nothing about him that is particularly, wild or out there. He doesn't stand out in any way. And that's kind of what makes him so scary. You know what I mean? That as much as you might imagine the villain being, the stereotypical sort of, sharp features, and there's something about their aura and their physical appearance that makes it clear that they are a menacing character. This version of Moriarty is played in the subtleties, and I like that. I like that about him only because it kind of, I don't know, it's just done so well. And I also like how short the seasons are. I think like each season is 3 episodes long or 4 episodes long, and there are only 3 seasons, and I think like a Christmas special. So they really just like focus on like one case, one story, and then they're done. And then the next season, another story, the next season, another story, and then they're done. And that's that, I definitely wanted more. And I remember being sort of obsessed with Sherlock and waiting for the next episode and setting reminders on my calendar for like the next season so that I don't forget. And that time, like the next season was coming like in 2 years' time or something like that. But I waited for it. Yeah, I read the Sherlock Holmes books growing up, and I just think Benedict Cumberbatch does the book justice. That's what I think. Anyway, let's get into Quiz Lady. An interesting watch. I didn't go into it, that excited to watch it. I mostly just went into it with like curiosity and being a hardcore fan of the Asian lady from Grey's Anatomy, whose name has slipped my mind and does definitely betray, my previous statement of being a hardcore fan. But I do appreciate her work. Oh, have you seen her in The Chair? You should definitely check out The Chair. Anyway, so yeah, I came into it with a relatively open mind, and was pleasantly surprised. So sit back, relax, and listen to my brother and I discuss the Quiz Lady. Alrighty, so this week we're talking about the Quiz Lady with our favorite lady from Grey's Anatomy, also one of the main ladies from Killing Eve and Awkwafina. So the synopsis of the movie is basically there's these two sisters. It's a sister type movie, comedy, adventure comedy type thing. And the older sister, played by our lovely lady, whose name I've forgotten, Maha will Google just now, from Killing Eve. She's the older sister, a little on the eccentric side of life, kind of goes wherever the wind, blows.
Sandra Oh.
Oh, yes, Sandra Oh. And really disorganized and stuff like that. And Awkwafina plays the younger sister who was kind of left to pick up the pieces of their very, discordant lives, I guess. And she then turned into like a very type A person, stays alone with her dog, watches her favorite quiz show at the same time every day, doesn't really interact with people, is quite rigid. And their mother is addicted to gambling. So one day the mother runs away from the old age home, and while they're packing her stuff up, these bookies come, kidnap Awkwafina's dog, and hold the dog for ransom until the mother's debt is paid. And that is where the adventure begins, because the older sister gets the idea to, get the sister to participate in the quiz show that she's watched every day for her whole life, because she knows all the answers, and it could be a great opportunity for them to win the money and save the dog. So yeah, basically that is the synopsis of the movie. There's also like an old lady neighbor, and she ends up going viral on social media. All sorts of little things happen. Obviously, in the end, they end up, all happy and excited and blah, 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 blah. The huge. But that's basically the show. Okay, so Mahal, what are your thoughts on the movie? How did you find it? What is it giving for you?
Oh, the movie was great. The movie was great. I actually really liked it. I was scared that it was gonna, like, the description that I guess we both saw of it was very vague, and which can be appreciated considering that some of the people that describe the movies go pretty high in the detail of the events of the film. But I really did appreciate this movie. It was really light-hearted, fun, simple watch, but not like...
Yeah.
It was very nice to watch. I won't lie. Nothing scary or interesting much about it. The thing I was scared of was that a lot of films that Aquafina tends to be in tends to be very...
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Speak on it.
It just, I don't know, it just tends to be one of those movies where I can't finish it.
Yes.
So, this one, I really enjoyed it from beginning to end.
You know, I'm going to say something controversial.
Oh, what's that?
I have a hot take, and I don't even think it's that much of a hot take, really.
It's just warm?
Tepid, at best.
Oh.
But I am taking...
Taking what?
Time.
Oh.
To say what I need to say. So, basically, you know how when Kevin Hart had that escandalo with his tweets?
Ah.
And then he was no longer hosting the Oscars, and wara. And then Jiggy, this movie comes out where he's a single dad, and we must all cry for this guy. When before, you know, when those tweets came out and everything, as much as people were calling him out for being homophobic and everything, you know how people like to pile on a hate sesh, you know? So people were obviously digging out at the things that were problematic about Kevin Hart, in the sense that, you know, he doesn't depict black people in the most positive of lights, and that the movies that he produces and makes, that there's oftentimes some sort of like defect with the black people that he chooses to portray, and that the movies that he's in charge of like producing and has a considerable say in, that he's quite happy depicting himself and in some ways black people in some sort of deficient way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Giving Tyler Perry realness.
Oh,
But no one can do Tyler Perry like Tyler Perry does Tyler Perry. So, you know, no one's going to beat him there. But he was on his way. And then this movie comes out where he's a single dad and he's struggling, and we're all supposed to feel sad for him, you know? And there was that other movie that he was in with that guy who did Breaking Bad.
Who?
The main guy from Breaking Bad.
Which one? Oh.
The main guy, the bald guy, the old guy. Anyway, I'm terrible with names, but if you're listening, you know. So there was a movie that he did with that guy, and that guy was sick, and he was the guy's sort of, I don't know, helper or whatever. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is, that movie, with him being a single dad, everyone was kind of just like, did you make this movie to kind of absolve yourself of your previous guilt? Do you feel me? Yeah, the movie is called The Upside. What's that actor's name? The white guy, not Kevin Hart. We've established.
Bryan Cranston.
Sure.
Cranston. Sorry.
I was never gonna know that name.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, the point is, then there was a lot of like critique and backlash, sort of saying that he's only doing this to kind of clean up his image, you know? And maybe so, maybe not, I don't know. But this is what this movie felt like.
Because of the whole blackfishing? Not blackfishing, but the whole...
Yeah, the cultural appropriation escandalous.
that she was going through.
Yeah, if you want to say going through. But yeah, you know, and that now she's seen as like this demure, sort of, you know, down on her luck, shy, anxiety-ridden individual who doesn't wear bright colors. Every other show that she's been in, the loudest one there. You know, this raspy, nasally voice that she has. No shame. She has a nice voice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to describe. But there's something scratching in the back there when she talks. And not in a bad way. I don't want to hate on people. So yeah, that kind of felt that way, where I wasn't sure, like, I believed Sandra Oh.
Yeah.
I believed her in her character. I don't know if I believed Awkwafina.
I mean, this with like watching the movie, I kind of dissociated from being Awkwafina, because it was a lot easier to do that now.
I guess, but it was the only time where it came back where I sort of believed her was when she was tripping balls on drugs.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I'm like, oh yeah, she seems so comfortable doing this part than she does doing the other part.
Then doing the awkward turtle situation.
Yes. And I don't know if maybe it's not me, it's not her, but it's me, that I'm more familiar with her in those roles.
I
Do you
guess.
get what I mean? But either way, it was suspiciously convenient, is what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I appreciated the movie for the fact that it depicted, the complexity of a sibling relationship, especially when you grow up in a tumultuous household, and how you may grow apart, but even in how you choose to create your lives or conduct yourselves, that there's like a binding source point of shared trauma and pain, and that the two of you are just choosing to address it in different ways, that it impacted you in different ways. The guilt that comes with being the older sibling leaving the younger sibling behind, right? The betrayal and the pain of being the younger sibling that was left behind, and how you choose to create life for yourself in that way. So yeah, as sad as, as much as we have all these other, hang-ups, it was a good story, a basic story,
Very.
but it was told well, and Aquafina did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will take her some time to turn this boat around, if it is something that she's, aiming to do,
Like
to show
more-
herself as a more versatile.
I guess so. Because, she could be typecasted for the rest of her life, similar to many actors. In which when you see them in, like, a good drama or good action, you're like, what? What are you doing here?
Exactly. I don't know if she's trying to be more versatile, and I hope that she is, because I see potential for her to like actually get into more serious acting, to sort of move away from being a comedic character or being in comedies. And I'd like that for her. So, yeah, that's it from me. I appreciate it. I don't know if I shed a tear. Did I shed a tear? I did shed a
Yes, you
tear.
did.
I did shed a tear at the end. And I think it is because, like, I'm a sucker for friendship and siblings and pets. Those are my main things. I can watch adults die any day of the week.
Like it's clockwork.
Oh, they can get murdered left, right, and center. I don't care a damn. But you dare touch that dog. Oh my gosh. I'll be in tears. I still cry about that movie where that dog was waiting for Richard Gere at the station.
Was that? No, I don't know which one was it. Lassie?
No, it's not Lassie Mahal. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if it's Richard Gere, but it's a white guy. Silver Fox. Type that my mood would have a crush on.
Okay.
I don't know what the name of the movie is. Look up Richard Gere movies and then show me the list and I'll tell you if it happens. But basically, Richard Gere had a dog, Mahal. Mahal, focus.
I'm focusing.
Focus on me. Leave the photo alone. Focus!
Hachi. A dog's tail.
Mahal, focus. I don't know the name of the movie.
Well, there's a picture of Richard Gere and
I can only remember one thing at a time. It's either the name or the name of the movie. The name of the person or the name of the movie. Okay?
What doesn't have
I don't
a dog
even know what the
mouth?
fucking dog looks like, Mahal. So don't show me the dog. My point is, Mahal, this guy had a dog. Okay? And he'd take the train to work every day. And he'd take the train back. Okay?
Yeah.
But then he dies at work.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or on the train. Or whatever. Point is, he died there. The dog stayed waiting at the station until the guy came back. Oh my gosh. And another movie that'll make you cry? Black Beauty. It's about a horse. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, it's so sad. It is so sad. The movies with the animals that have to go back and save people and that they almost die in the snow. Oh, no, that's not Black Beauty. It's another one about dogs.
Isn't that no? I'm just gonna see Lassie for everything.
Anyway, how? You weren't even alive when Lassie was a thing. I don't know why you're holding on to this Lassie thing.
Because
We've all let go. Lassie never died.
Yeah, because
in the show, the dog that played Lassie died multiple times. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so my rating for the movie is and mind you, just for everyone who's listening, my rating for Quiz Lady.
Yeah.
My rating
Not
for
for
Black Beauty and
Hachi?
Tamaguchi. Yes.
Tamaguchi.
I know. There was a ch sound somewhere.
But you added so many syllables.
I just needed to get to the ch in the middle, and I didn't care how I got there.
There's only 2 syllables. It's Hachi.
Wow. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut the hell up. Trying to say something serious here.
You spoke about Black Beauty.
Black Beauty and Tamaguchi get
Hachi.
Tamahachi? Tomahawk.
That's a weapon.
Oh. Is that not a steak?
No.
Oh.
Wait, no, it is. But it's also a weapon.
Because it gives heart attacks.
Your rating for animal dying movies? I mean...
Yeah, those are zeros. Those are zeros. No one needs to be crying that hard in a movie. No one. And that's animal cruelty, even if it's fake. I don't support such shit. But for
Quiz Lady.
Quiz Lady, I am giving it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Giving it a 4 out of 5 only because I appreciate people of color being depicted as normal people with complex lives that exist outside of their race. And as much as, like, obviously for comedic purposes, they brought up race from time to time, it wasn't the crutch of the film. It wasn't, oh my gosh, this movie was shot during COVID times, so we're going to talk about how, Asians were being unfairly persecuted by the public, which is definitely something that also needs to be discussed and has its own space.
Yeah.
But I appreciated,
Yeah.
just for what it is, banged. Memorable moment is
The hero charade.
the charades were nice. That can be your memorable moment.
No, the reason behind the hero charade.
Oh, yeah. That still can be your memorable moment. Oh. My memorable moment was when she went to confront the gangsters. And then the gangsters finding out that they're behind on rent, that they're treating the dog better than just the gangsters in general.
The pure breeds, they need 24/7 help. They have skin conditions
and anxiety.
Like my dog over there needs 24-hour attention. If he stops working. Oh, goodness.
So that's my memorable moment. What rating? Do you have any final thoughts, ratings, and memorable moment?
No final thoughts. You kind of really said everything.
Wow. Okay.
Proud of you for that.
Read me.
So, but other than that, no other thoughts. My final rating, I think, would be also 4.
Plagiarism is a crime.
Yeah. Coming from the person who also rated 3 on Pod Baby.
It's too late now.
Well, I can still claim it. Anyway.
You can't claim it.
I can.
Claim it in your taxes, bitch. Leave me out of it.
I will.
Okay. Memorable moments.
Okay. Memorable moment was the story of her explaining how, like, she shot in the garden. To me, that was just so funny. How it came out multiple times is just the funniest part to me. The actual story itself is really sad. Like the idea of it, of like you don't feel comfortable around family enough that you can use the toilet, and so you end up being that pent up. But how they reference back to it, I find it really funny.
That was really sweet. To turn like a low-key gross story into sort of a key moment for the two sisters to sort of reveal that the older sister isn't so as self-centered as Aquafina's character believes.
Yeah.
And then for them to call back to it again in a very sweet moment where Aquafina is then telling the sister that you're my hero. Yeah. You know? So, yeah.
But the other favorite, moment was just the general charades section of how they use like personal memories to get, I guess, especially for stock markets.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. That's it from us. It is I, your host, Anonymous, and Mahal.
Oh.
Mogula.
Thank you for having me, Libu.
Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. That is the end of this week's episode. I really hope you enjoyed the chat. I know the conversations between my brother get a little awkward. Between my brother and I get a little awkward sometimes. But I promise as the weeks go by, you will hear him feel a little more confident, a little more comfortable. A lot of laughs will be shared. I promise. Stick with us and you'll be laughing with us as well. But yeah, that's it for this week. Let us know, if you have a sibling, if you have siblings, do you think this movie depicted, the dynamics between siblings accurately? Be it in the shorthand that they had in the charades game, or in sort of like this tension that is constantly existing, the sort of unspoken sacrifices that are made, or how maybe both of you, or how you all choose to adapt or deal with your upbringing in different ways. Is there usually a crazy sibling and a put together sibling, or all the siblings crazy? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that there was something relatable in this story and in this relationship? Did you believe them as siblings is the essence of my question. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Please talk to me, email me, do whatever. I love to hear from all of you. So I will see you all next time. And in the meantime, we have the Agony Aunt episode coming in 2 days. So don't worry. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, baby.